Today I'm going to try and run Windows 10 inside a virtual machine on Windows XP. Now this may sound familiar to you if you've watched another channel or if you're subscribed to another channel called Michael MGD. And yes, he already tried it, however he tried it in a virtual machine inside a virtual machine. This means that there may be some problems which, yeah, they theoretically shouldn't be, but you know the IT world, nothing works as you expect sometimes. So I'm going to try it on real hardware, and initially I wanted to use this HP DC 7600, but sadly the Pentium 4 HD processor in this thing does not support virtualization, so I have to use another machine that I have, which is not a Pentium 4, and it's this Optiplex, Dell Optiplex 7020 with an i3 Intel CPU. Now the catch on this is, this does not support Windows XP at all. This is way more modern than Windows XP is. So I may have troubles getting drivers and other stuff to work on this PC and getting a virtualization running with Windows 10. So we have to try and just be lucky, I guess. Now, if you're wondering if you can do this at home, if it turns out to work, please do not do this. This is not a secure way. Windows XP should not exist on your system anymore, and if it still does, please upgrade to Windows 10, or if your machine is too old, just get rid of it and buy a new one or something. As said, Windows XP is so old at this point that their viruses and attackers and all that other good stuff, they have an easy time to just get to your files if they want. So please do not do this to run modern applications. Just upgrade to Windows 10 and be done with it. Anyways, I have to install Windows XP on this machine. I haven't tried it before. I have an SSD here, a 60GB SSD, which I'm going to use for this machine. I still have to make an image of it, but I'm going to do this when I have it installed here. So let me install Windows XP and just skip the boring part. You may notice that I'm currently using a different machine than I previously said I would try this on. Now, I tried to get Windows XP running on this Core i3, which I have left to me here. I was not able to do that at all. The SATA driver didn't work. I found some unofficial drivers that apparently should have worked, but I didn't get it to run. It would never detect the internal SSD, and I just couldn't get Windows XP installed on the internal SSD. And yeah, I had to use my trusty old Dell Vista 1520 here, where I know that this is still supported by Windows XP, or was made in the Windows XP era, because it says it still has a Windows Vista compatible sticker there, and normally when a machine is compatible with Windows Vista, it is also compatible with Windows XP. So yeah, I had to use this thing here. I simply installed the SSD from the i3 machine into this laptop, and yeah, I got everything to work. All the drivers seem to work perfectly fine here too, and they're all the official drivers from like 2009 or something, and it seems to work so far. The sound is a little bit higher and lower pitch depending on whatever you play for some reason. That seems to be a driver issue. I don't care as long as it works now. I also had a few issues getting VirtualBox to run, because the oldest, newest version that is still supported by, which still supports 32-bit, which was 5.2 I think, does not support Windows XP anymore. And when I started it, I got like a certification error or some weird errors that I just couldn't get past. So I had to use an older version, which is 4 point something. Not sure if it shows here. No, because this is not Windows 10, which actually shows you details about the version. But yeah, this is 4 point something, I think, 4.3 or something. And yes, it's German because I accidentally installed the German version of this. 4.3.40 it says here. So let's see if this actually works now. Now I have two versions of Windows 10 here. I have the very first version of Windows, which is 15.07, professional version, of course. Now, this, I said this was the first version of Windows 10, which I think, if this versioning is still the same, it came out in like 2015, I think. And I also have the 2004 version. Not sure if this makes a difference, if I have to use this one or this one, but I'm going to use the more recent one first and see if that works, and if it doesn't work, I'm just going to use the 1507, which predates VirtualBox by a few years, so it should definitely run on this. So yeah, let's make a new one here and let's call it Win10. And I think the RAM should actually be sufficient in this machine because I think like 4 gigabytes installed if I decipher this correctly. So it should be 4 gigabytes, which 32-bit operating systems only support 4 gigabytes, so should be okay. Microsoft Windows 10, yes, there we go. Let's give it 1 gigabyte, or oh, do I only have like, oh, it limits it to the half of the host RAM, so yeah. Let's give it a gigabyte, it should be okay. Let's create a hard drive here, VirtualBox VDI. Dynamic, yeah, let's choose dynamic. And let's go down to 15 gigabyte. This is a 60 gigabyte drive as I showed earlier, and I think I have used up like 22 gigabyte or something already. Yeah, 23 gigabyte, okay. That should be okay though. So 15 gigabytes, there we go. Start. And let's see if this actually works. Now, not sure if this is visible enough here, so let me zoom in a little. There we go. Now, VirtualBox asks me for the ISO file, which I'm going to choose here, Windows 10 ISO 2004 start. Could not create a new session. Implementation of the USB 2 controller not found. One thing, enable EFI, whatever you want to call it. Maybe that works, but I have my doubts too. This should not change anything. Windows 10 should run on a legacy BIOS too. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to troubleshoot this a little further. I'm not sure how much I will cut out of this error in post-production, because I've recorded like 21 minutes right now just trying to get the ISO or Windows 10, the Windows 10 installed to run here, and it didn't work. And obviously this is going to be super boring in the video, so yeah. If you're just joining back because I edited a lot of stuff out earlier, it didn't boot. I've disabled a few options here, and yeah, still nothing, and I get the same error as previously shown. So I have to either search for VMware now, which I'm not sure which is the latest version that's still supported by Windows XP. I have to check that, and I'll be back in a few seconds. Before I actually search for VMware, let's try one more thing here, which is Ubuntu, to see if that one actually starts up or tries to start up. Yes, dynamic, whatever. I only want to try it. Maybe I have to disable the USB thing again. So come on, there we go. Computer, external files, Ubuntu, start. Now I'm curious. I get the same error message. So this is definitely some kind of VirtualBox fail here. Interesting. Yeah, I'm going to try a few more things. I'm going to try the next version of VirtualBox, which is 5 point something. But as far as I know, they've removed support for Windows XP as a host in version 5.x. So I think this will not work, and I actually have to search for VMware. So yeah, I'm going to be back in a few seconds here. So I've installed the version 5.0.20 now. For some reason the 5.0.18 didn't work. The install would always just crash or just roll back all the changes it made, and would never work, so I had to install the next version. And apparently it works now. I don't get the certification error that I got before with the 5 point something version, with the 5.2 version. No, I can't for some reason change it to English now, but it does have. Let's remove this and create a new one. It's going to take a few seconds here, I guess. There we go, that adapter is created, but it still says something like host-only network, host interface has invalid IPv4 netmask. Oh, netmask. What, it has... okay. All of a sudden. Yeah, maybe that's a quirk of 5.0, because it's a very early version of 5.0. Still, let's try it. I've set it to English now. Let's create Win 10. And yes, I have to write with a very skewed angle here so the camera sees the screen a little better. But yeah, it's going to work anyways. Yeah, let's go to this setup again here, and let's choose 15 gigabytes again. There we go. Let's keep everything standard here, and let's see if the virtual machine is going to complain again about the USB interface. Apparently not. So let's see if it works this time. Start. Oh, that looks promising. Yeah, that looks promising. Nice. So, let's choose the 32-bit setup here. Now I'm curious if this is going to work or not. Success. At least the install is loading. God damn it. Okay, acrylic errors occurred while running the virtual machine. Logs. God damn it, okay. So apparently it didn't work and I was happy too early. Let's try the other version still, the older version, the 1507. Start. If this doesn't work, I'm going to search for the latest supported non-certification error throwing version of VirtualBox, because apparently this 5.0 version fixed a lot of stuff with Windows 10, it seems. There we go, we go to the boot screen already, and let's see if I get the little... oh god damn it, critical error again. What happens if I press ignore? I think nothing's going to happen. Yeah, there's no system activity anymore, so... seems like it crashed for good. Yeah, but this looks promising already, so I'm going to search for the latest supported 5.0 version, or 5.1 version, and I'll be back in a few seconds here. So I'm using 5.1 point something now of VirtualBox. I'm not sure which version anymore, but it still crashes for some reason. So I tried to read the logs, but let me see which version I'm actually using here. 5.1.38. I'm going to use 5.2 point something now, the first version of 5.2. But yeah, this doesn't look promising so far, which kinda sucks. So, where the hell is my VirtualBox folder again? I'm not sure where the logs are actually located, because this is not one that actually shows some kind of error. There's like an error, IPRT? iPrint? No. Not as an error. There wasn't an error before. Session machine save screen is not available. I'm not sure this is related to the... Another thing I'm going to try is downloading the extension pack, but I'm not sure this would actually fix things. So the extension pack is installed now. Let's try to start it again, and as said, it should not work at all. I start to think that this is going to be a little bit of a failure, but I'm crashing earlier here than Michael MGD did on his video. So then again, maybe he had the same issue, but just VirtualBox didn't report this error to him, which... the log file, please provide the contents of the log file vbox.log and vbox.png. Now the thing is, I think it's in VirtualBox VMs here. Yes, there we go. But I can't read this at all. Like, I'm not sure where the error is. Let's actually search for error. Yeah, I can't find error. Oh wait, I'm using down. Error APIC timer. But theoretically this shouldn't actually crash it, I think. Oh yeah, there we go, down. Error, 0, error. Yeah. I can't read this log at all. This is way too complicated and way too much info for me, and this is probably the last screen. Yeah, there we go. The last Windows 10 screenshot that it was able to capture there. let's play around with the settings a little bit. I'm not sure this is going to work at all, so let's disable this thing, disable this, disable acceleration, which again should not fix anything if we already had the issues before. But you never know in the IT world, so acceleration has been enabled, but it is not operational. Certain guests require this feature. Please ensure that you have enabled. Continue. What will it do now? I was trying to boot up again, but oh, you. Now we have a recovery screen at least. This operating system uses the physical address extension features of water system with more than 4 GB of RAM. You need to use a PC with a compatible processor. We are further than last time though. So let's try F8 here. Okay, I can't even go to the startup settings. So yeah, but at least we have a recovery screen now. So this is way further than MacLeod actually got, which already I would say is already a success, because at least we get a little bit of an error message here now. But we still can't get past it. So I think this is simply because I disabled the hardware acceleration in the settings. And again, I'm not a professional there. I simply just learn all of this stuff by myself. And let's enable this again. But then again, what if I'm not getting a invalid settings thing here. So let's try. I set the PAE, whatever that is. Physical address extension. Hey, I think that was the error. Well, maybe we get past it now. Not sure. Continue. Would be interesting, but I think we just get to the recovery screen again. Or maybe nothing so far? Interesting. This is how far MacLeod got. This is the exact screen that it froze for him too. So interesting. This doesn't seem to be any system activity though. No SATA activity, no ISO activity. Let's check the task manager here. VirtualBox uses 50% CPU, which is 1 core to max. Or should be 1 core to max. Maybe VirtualBox does some what's it called? System it tries to share system resources between both CPU cores there, but so far it seems to do something at least in the background. I'm going to let this run for a few minutes and I'll come back to it in I would say like 10 minutes or something, and we'll see if it advances or not. So yeah, sadly no change for about 10 minutes now, and I'm giving up here. So, or at least with this setup so far. Now, VirtualBox is still using around 50% CPU, which is kind of weird because it seems like it's doing nothing. Also here, because it hasn't even once tried to access the ISO again, or the hard drive, or anything else down here. So yeah, it's also using 122 megabytes of RAM, which, yeah, it suggests that something's still going on, but apparently it's stuck. So yeah, let's play around with the settings a little bit still, but I think this is going to turn out to be the same issue MacLeod had. So processor, let's enable the VTX again, but let's disable the nesting page. Parallel virtualization interface, okay, whatever that means. Motherboard chips, yep. I don't think this should change anything, but let's... Come on. It's currently enabled in the motherboard section. So in order to support the type of for this VM. Yeah, let's turn it off again. So disable floppy. Also go with USB to USB 2. for whatever reason that would change something. Disable audio. That shouldn't do anything here, so start. I think it'll just throw an error again. Like it was so earlier. A critical error or something. Yeah, critical error has occurred. So it seems to be connected to this option here, enable VTX. No, I can disable this one and enable this one, but I don't think it will change anything at all. I think it will just do the same thing over and over again. I'm going to try VMware later. I haven't found a version that still supports Windows XP. Oh, you're in the recovery again. Can I press F8 here? No, of course not. But yeah, it seems to be the... It seems to be a combination of two, because now I have this is the address extension disabled, but I have the virtualization enabled, so... Use by this virtual machine. What if I choose minimal here? Also, what happens if I choose 2 processors? Yeah, let's enable this again, because the... No, okay, let's try one thing after another. Maybe disabling the I/O thingy somehow makes it crash, I'm not sure. I'm out of options here, and as said, I'm not an expert in any of these terms, so let's just hope it either crashes again or goes to the blue screen again. Yeah, it crashes again, so it was the acceleration. Let's try KVM here. I'm not even sure what the option does there. If it changes the virtual box thing, or if it only changes the virtualization inside the virtualization. But I think it will just crash again. Yeah, it just crashes again. Yeah, one more try here. ICH9. Let's go to default and disable. Oh, I can't disable it, right? Acceleration not current. Enable acceleration setting that this needs to be in order to support. Well, let's go down here. So start. It's just going to crash again, or come up with this error again, but it will probably hang now. It's doing the exact same thing as before. So it will just hang here and not advance anymore. So it definitely does need the virtualization option that I disabled. So yeah, I think Windows XP is trying to run Windows 10 on XP is going to be a little bit of a failure. And Michael MGD was actually right here, that it definitely doesn't work. Yeah, it's doing the same thing again. It doesn't even try to access the ISO again. Neither the hard drive nor anything else here. And that's the paging, yeah. So yeah. I'm going to try and get a version of VMware now. Not sure which one I will find in the end, but yeah, this is our last chance. If this doesn't work, I will probably give up or something. I'm not sure. So I did find a version of VMware Workstation that actually works now, and I'm going to try this. I think that I'm going to fail here because I read in the changelog for Workstation 11 that they've included experimental support for Windows 10 there. So this is 10, this is a version before the supported, where they supported Windows 10, so it obviously will most likely fail. So let's try and use the 2015 version here. And yes, this is a version that came out in 2015, so this only further makes my suspicion big that it's not going to work. And yeah, we don't even have Windows 10 here, so let's choose Windows 8. Yeah, standard location. We are going to choose 20 gigs here. Store as a single disk. Customize hardware, 1 GB is okay. So, number of processors. I'm going to leave all of that standard and remove the printer here because we don't need it. Processors, which that should be okay. So, yeah, but as said, I think we're going to fail here. Which is going to be sad because I thought we would be somehow getting some progress here. A fault has occurred, yeah. Another shutdown state. Yeah, well, not looking promising. I'm going to try and disable the virtualization again, but we're probably just going to get blue screen again. Or a fault. Okay, so it's crashing instantly. Disable acceleration. Let's do it this way here. Yeah, fault again. Disable both. Yes. Yeah, crashed again. Well, I think that concludes our adventure here. So, seems like nothing's working. But, yeah. I'm going to try the other ISO still, but I can already tell you that this is not going to work. Disable. 32-bit. It's going to fail again. Yeah, there we go. Fault has occurred. One thing I still try is virtualize this thing, which is definitely not going to work either. So yeah, there we go. I'm going to get this big on screen here. Sadly, you can't run Windows 10 inside Windows XP, which I think after editing this video, it's probably going to be like 25 minutes or something. But yeah, sadly it doesn't work. I tried every possible thing here. I tried VirtualBox, I tried VMware Player or VMware Workstation, which is basically the same thing. I could still try Windows XP 64-bit version because I would be able to run Workstation 11, I think. But yeah, I don't think it will work at all, so it's not worth a try even. And the next thing I have in mind is trying to get Windows 10 running on Windows Vista. Now, I can already kind of see why it's going to work, because Windows Vista has a lot of change in the background already, which is closest to Windows 7. And Windows 7 can virtualize Windows 10 just fine. And yeah, this concludes the adventure here. As you see, an error message is all we get. Or a little Windows screen which doesn't actually move any further and doesn't actually boot. So, go to Michael MGD's video too, because this was my inspiration for making this video. And let me actually zoom out again here. This was my inspiration here to try this on a physical machine, like my laptop here. And as you see, didn't work out. He was right. Nothing worked, and yeah. Go subscribe to his channel, upload his video too. I'm going to link it down in the description. And thanks for watching this video. I hope you still enjoyed it, even though it was a failure. And leave a like if you liked it. Leave a subscribe if you super liked it, and yeah, thanks for watching and have a nice day.